My heart already. Oh, that was so joyful. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jennifer Glatzhofer, but you can call me Jen. I am a musical theatre performer and a voice teacher. And today, I did not get round to doing this last year, so I'm doing it today. This will be Kelly Clarkson and Ariana Grande performing Santa Can't You Hear Me? Or Santa Can't You Hear Me? Santa Can't You Hear Me? That would feel very weird to sing. It is, of course, continuing the Christmas theme for 2022. And actually, when this comes out, it will be Christmas Eve. So I hope you're having a wonderful Christmas Eve, whatever you are up to. If you are celebrating Christmas or if you're not celebrating Christmas, I hope you're staying well and safe. But anyway, back to today's reaction and analysis. Yes, it is, in fact, a reaction and analysis. Shock horror. What this means is that I will be pausing and talking about the vocals. I'm telling you now because the amount of times I get comments saying, why'd you keep pausing? Well, it's because I'm telling you right now. If you are finding that I'm pausing a little bit too much for you, then you can click off this video. I have left the link to the original video in the description below, so do go and check that out and watch that, which I do recommend you watch before watching one of these videos or my videos anyway, but you could do what you want. And in case you didn't know, I recently released at the end of last month an acoustic album with Ian, who you may have seen on my channel previously. We actually uploaded a Christmas cover ourselves, so do go and watch that in case you haven't. But the album is called Layers. I will leave a link in the description below, so do go and stream that on whatever platform you use for your music streaming. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the bell button, and let's get to the main part of the video. Whew, that was an intro and a half. Keep the intro short, she said. I really wanted to pause earlier on, but I didn't. Is that okay? But we'll go back and I'll talk about it anyway. This is so fun. I recognize these backing singers, I think from Kelly's show. I mean, I know there's many different backing singers that she uses, but I feel like I literally just watched a Christmas cover on her karaoke and it was this sort of setup. I also really love that we had it wasn't like Kelly sing a verse and then Ariana sing a verse. We straight away on the two different lines. So as someone who is listening to both of their vocal lines, you can instantly hear the differences in their voices. Like, you know, because you're kind of hearing similar lines, one right after the other, and hearing how both of them are singing them. And it's so fascinating. I love it. It just goes to show, like, two great singers, phenomenal voices, how they're both so different in their vocal qualities and like vocal anatomy just to begin with anyway. Like, it's so fascinating. Well, I mean, it is to me anyway. So let's go with Kelly's. I don't know who went woo right at the beginning, but that's kind of like a little warm up. Let's warm up our head voice, everyone. Woo! Kelly starts it off with a really lovely connected sound. So connected voice. What this means is, when I mean a connected sound, is that the vocal folds are connecting every time they're vibrating. It's a really kind of thick, well-connected sound. Like, it's clear. There is no breath seeping through. Whereas Ariana Grande, she likes to play around with a lot of breath. Not saying that Kelly doesn't, but instantly in these, just in the first two opening phrases that we hear from the both of them, Ariana Grande has got a much more breathier onset and breath-led vocal line throughout. So keep up on that B4. Kelly Clarkson straight away is like, I'll start in the first passage. And the first passage is at that point in our voice where we go from our chest voice to our head voice. So if you've ever experienced like a that kind of Tarzan flip, that is around the first passage, because we're literally going from and it wants to break. There are two things that initially we want to do, is either that and get really breathy, or we want to go and reach up with our thicker folds and keep kind of pulling. What we want to find is a nice mix, a nice blend of the two. And Kelly Clarkson, keep E is an E vowel, right? She's opening it to an I straight away. I know we're breaking this down a lot. I did say prepare yourselves. Merry Christmas, everyone. Keep. It's a lovely I vowel, so we're getting that a little bit more narrower, a little bit more of a drop of a jaw. So we're just right in the pocket. And then, yeah, lovely breathy onsets from Ariana Grande with a lovely little run at the end. I love this setup. Right. I like the soft, delicate from Ariana. I know there's so much to talk about here. I'm so sorry. I'm going to try and be fast so it's not like, hurry up. But beneath, say the word beneath. Beneath. That second vowel, right? That second syllable, beneath, E vowel. Look at Kelly Clarkson's mouth. Beneath. She's dropping that jaw. That tongue is nice and flat at the bottom. Beneath. And she's still getting it. We can still understand what she's saying. It's just da da, because she's traveling up. She needs to think down, grounded, rather than beneath and squeeze. So good. It really matches both of their voices, like the sections. Right, I just want to talk about the vowels here. So throughout this whole line, Kelly Clarkson is heavily on an ah vowel. My heart already. So just say, my heart already. In my accent, I'm really darkening the all. That's how I would say it. Each of them, my heart already. They're all different, but if we kind of generalize the vowels to an ah, like Kelly Clarkson is doing. My heart already. All she needs to do is just change a little bit of the tongue position just to make sure that we're still hearing the words. But everything here is nice and relaxed. We're not squeezing any tension and moving too much. She's placing it because that's a placement that she's found throughout practice, throughout her experimenting of her own voice. Kelly Clarkson knows her own voice. I mean, both of them do. She has found that that is the right placement for this little phrase. So stay there and we can still understand what she's saying. I love these outfits. And then when she comes down, it's way crazy. Wow, I did not think it was an E flat where they were it seemed so easy in their voice. Like it is very light. They're not kind of belting that out, right? Ariana Grande's got a lovely kind of smile happening, really shooting it. Kind of just makes everything like, you know, yes, we want to keep narrow. And I've had this question before in like singing lessons. Like I get everyone to kind of like think narrow, but like, Jen, what happens if I need to smile in a performance? Naturally, I'm going to like lift, right? Yes. That is why we want to try and train everything to kind of be narrow and kind of like thinking of it like the top, especially when we go higher, thinking of it in like a smaller kind of space because the vocal folds are thinning out rather than spread and wide and reaching. Because then when we do want to smile, everything inside is still nice and relaxed and we're not kind of like, everything's not lifting with us. But yeah, Ariana Grande is really kind of like, you can feel that she is aiming for here, especially on this sa. It's not sa and like ah and this big open space. It's sa on this air kind of vowel. So good. Woo! Oh, these BVs are so sharp as well. Ah, yeah. I love the ooh kind of that Ariana Grande just comes in there. Both of them really just ooh, pure vowel. And nice, we had Ariana Grande on the top harmony and Kelly Clarkson on the lower. Oh, and now they swapped there. So now Ariana actually had that lower one. So she was a lot more, just actually right there. She was a lot more on a thicker fold. Ariana Grande loves to, I mean, she's a great belter. She's, you know, soprano. Her head voice is very, very well developed. And she often goes for a really lovely head dominant mix or a mixed voice, which is wonderful. Whereas here, because of where she is a little bit actually more like lower set, and she is bringing up that thick fold a little bit, and Kelly Clarkson is up on that top. I love Christmas. I feel like you can see a little pull here, and it's kind of like she ever so slightly is a little bit like afraid to move from this position, right? And sometimes what that, you know, it's in an area of her voice that we're not used to hearing Ariana Grande. You know, like I just mentioned before, she does like to sing a little bit higher, and those higher belts up in that B flat, so it's in that tricky area. And sometimes that section is a lot more trickier than it is to belt the sound that we had just earlier, which she smashed. This note, to get where we want, you know, it's a live performance. A lot of things going through her mind, especially I always find that as well with these kind of these notes in the middle. It's kind of, those are the ones that we put more pressure on ourselves, because sometimes there are more things that can feel unstable. So yeah, there is a little bit, you can see a little bit of a pull and kind of like an uncertainty of, should I move, should I not? I'm going to stay. But it's so free after. See, so lovely. Nice. Is what? So that what? I know I stopped right in the middle, but I just wanted, this is hovering that same B flat, but then we're going back up to a C sharp, B flat. So in one's mind, because that's the lowest note, and then you're also going up to a C sharp, you can afford to be already in the mix. Like, you can already be blending, because that's not the note that you're holding on longer. Whereas before, in the phrase before, I know I might not be making any sense, but in the phrase before, that long note was on that B flat. So that was the longest, that was the most, I say most significant with air bubbles, because every note is significant and important, and we need to, you know, highlight and focus on every note of the song. But for that phrase, that B flat was the significant note, because we were holding on for it longer, and it was the highest. Was it the high? I don't think, maybe it wasn't even the highest, but it was the longest note, the one that we can remember the most. Whereas in this little phrase, we hovered, that's the lower part of this little motif, right? So Ariana Grande is already placing it well in the mix, so that then the C sharp becomes now the highest point, and beautifully blended. It's really nice. That's such a great placement. Nice. Ah. Oh, look at this little cry. Where she descends. Actually, I think it's in the same note. Oh no, it does go down. Oh, so good. That was really lovely connected, actually, there. These are two great, you know, like I mentioned before, two great singers. Ariana's, you know, wonderful riffs and runs, Kelly as well. There we had it, such like a beautiful in sync moment, which is really great. You know, it's great to show your individuality in these kind of songs, especially with names as these two, but also when they come together, it's so lovely and magical. Just in unison, yeah. Yes. Oh, that was so joyful on this lovely vowel. And you can see kind of Kelly like bringing her body back and holding on. I love watching how they're doing, like, you know, holding, are they not holding? It's so fascinating. But yeah, that was a lovely, I love them looking at one another as well. And that chat. That note was on a C sharp, and notice how where Ariana Grande is placing that. Ding! Like it's really lovely in the mix. There's a chest dominant sound there, but she's in her mix. She doesn't feel like she needs to pull up or anything. It's beautifully balanced. And maybe before I think it was an R vowel, now it's an I vowel. So maybe we're a bit smaller, we have a bit more control. Lovely. I love that call and response from the BVs. Kelly's lower register is really, really lovely as well. I mean, she can belt to their gods too, but it's just wonderful. That's nice. That fast run, ascending run from Ariana Grande there, like little ad lib, that was. Keep the missile. She starts there and she's like, oh, up here. Oh, Kelly Clarkson's presence in her voice. You could tell that was going to come. God! Yes, F sharp. Hello. And notice how, say the word got. So it's always good to kind of go back to how we normally would say it. Obviously to try and get the pure vowel. But obviously, God would be like, oh, it would go favor our head voice, right? So if we just open that up to an R vowel in there just a little bit. God! We get our teeth kind of pinging as well. What that does, it opens up our mouth a little bit, so we naturally have a bit more of a thicker, kind of louder sound, but also the cricoid's a bit more involved. But because of where we are, it can't just be full thick fold. It's not like reaching up, right? And that beautiful head voice moments that we have from Kelly Clarkson and how well developed she is up there, that is the reason why this is a wonderful chest dominant belt. Chest dominant because there's still head voice elements in her voice, because that's what's keeping her what's the word? It's keeping her stable up there, not heavy, and keep making sure that she can sustain that note. Nice. Oh, that was so joyful. So this is where they really got to highlight their differences, right? And like kind of that's a kind of nice little blurry background image of them too, actually. Oh, that's so cute. But this is where before they had that kind of like unison moment. Now we're really just differentiating. I nailed that word that's there. I just always mess that up. But it's really just like showing their unique style. Ariana Grande got to go way up there. Let's see where she's going. But on that little Santa ad lib, she's not on the she's kind of like saying, she's keeping it really small so she can like hit the note, come back down. Because she's not like, it's really fast, one. And also two, the quality she wants up there is a very head dominant space. So she's wants keeping it smaller. And that's what works for her. It's like she's kind of just making the no. She's on an A flat up there, A flat 5. And there's so much whine and twang. The higher we get, the more twang we need. Because if that twang goes, head voice, we're not do not, please, do not try to go up with your full thick folds in chest voice. There is an element of chest voice because that twang is there and the whine is there and the resistance and everything, but it's not like a chest belt. It is a mixed belt and it's wonderful. But yeah, diction wise, and it's not, I'm not picking this up because we know Ariana Grande has been known for having like a diction not being as clear as one would like, but that's not what I'm putting out here. What she's actually doing is just keeping it really, really small so she can she's kind of becoming an instrument here, which you are with a voice, but she's even more just kind of like playing around with the notes and kind of just, oh, it's so good. Both of them are. She keeps it really nice and straight. E flat there. Oh, it's so good. And like just so straight. And yeah, Kelly's just belting away. Oh, so good. It's slight open. Oh, that's a nice harmony from Kelly. Nice. Yes! Oh, I love the hugs. I love. Yeah, and I love how Ariana Grande swapped to like a head voice sound right at the top and lovely descending, kind of keeping that softer as she trailed down below as well. Christmas. Well, there was so much to why I go into these and I'm like, right, I can't talk for too long because I've got to like be quick with these things. I've got to kind of, I've got lots to get through, and then there's just so much great things to talk about. So I hope that if you've made it this far, you do appreciate the stops, you do appreciate the kind of chats about the music. Thank you to those of you who do leave comments in the comment section below saying that you do enjoy what I do over here and do learn a thing or two, or that I pick out things that you didn't hear the first few times. That's why I'm doing it. I love talking about it, and yeah, just talking about music with people that want to know about music. I hope wherever you are in the world, if you celebrate Christmas, if you don't celebrate Christmas, I hope you have a lovely evening today. Today, Christmas Eve for me, being half Dutch, half Italian. The Italian side, we eat a lot of fish. We have many courses. I'm going to go over to my grandparents and yeah, be with the family and have a wonderful time. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the bell button, and I'll see you very soon for another video. Bye.